Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we have a super special guest. This is the Wurkkos TD02. This is a new series by Wurkkos, the TD series. And the other model they made is the TD01, and I reviewed that, and I have a lot of beam shot footage and drone beam shots, so go check that out. But this is something very new. This whole design, this is like a well tool design. And then this new machining and knurling I love. It sticks in your hand. Like Phoenix lights slip out of my hand a lot. A lot of other smooth lights tend to slip out of my hands, but this thing sticks. It's got a really nice white beam. So I'm not a huge fan of the sft40, but this bin is not bad. So here I am on the lower voltage, or the lowest setting, and there is a green tinge, but it's not as significant as I've seen in a lot of other sft40s. So what this thing really reminds me of is the WK03. It seems to be kind of like a mix between the WK03, as you can see, has almost the same TIR lens. I mean, it honestly could be the same. Who knows? I put in sft40 in this one, so it's not stock, but I'll still take it out and we can compare it, just so we can kind of see. I must say it does throw quite a bit further now, but the beam isn't as clean as with the sft40. So I just thought this is like a mix between the FC12 and the WK03, but it's just a little bit bigger than the WK03, and it's got this just one-way clip. And I don't strap flashlights to my hat, so I'm glad that they went with this. I don't really like the two-way clips, and it comes off quite easily. All right, so this light, so it has USB-C charging, and I'm really glad they went with this new little flap, as it's easier for me to remove and also reinstall. And your indicator light is right here. So green means it's between 100 and 50%. Red means it's between 50 and 20%. And then less than 20%, it flashes red. All right, so a big surprise was the box that it came in. It's in one of the older Wurkkos boxes, but that's fine with me. I don't really care. All right, here it claims the light is between 6,000 and 6,500, and I'm kind of glad they went that route, as it's more white than it could potentially be green, as I've seen on the more neutral sft40s. All right, we have an O-ring, lanyard, USB-C charging cable, and then just the instructions on how to get started. All right, so as far as the light goes, it weighs 62 grams is what it says. So I weighed it with a battery, and it weighs right around 100 grams. It's very, very light and small. That's my dog, not my stomach. So it's 122 millimeters long. The head is a very small 24.7 millimeters. A little bit bigger than a TS10, and longer, just for reference. All right, so we have, this is Eco. This is 10 lumens, and it can run this for 150 hours. Here's low. This is 100 lumens, and this will run for 18 hours. This is medium, this is 400 lumens, and this will run for 4 hours. This is high, this is 1,000 lumens, and it'll run for 2.5 hours, and then turbo, 2,000 lumens. And if you double click, it goes to strobe. There we go. So the way to keep this a tactical light, and I've seen it with a lot of other lights, like my only gripe with this light is I'm not even that mad about the LED and reflector choice, but ultimately what I would want is something like this, even a more shallow reflector. The problem is with an sft40, the more shallow the reflector, you kind of have to use an orange peel, or else you get weird lines, in my experience. But you get more throw, and more candela, and more intensity, and that's kind of what you want with a tactical flashlight. But I'm really glad that there's no side switch. That's my only gripe about this one. So I wish this one was more like this one. Then I wish this one was more like this one. I'll never be satisfied. It's just a really cool little light. I do kind of wish they would have went with maybe a diamond knurling pattern right here. Make it a little bit more slim. But the tail switch feels really good. Very crisp. Let's see, let's take this little guy apart. Alright, we have a gold-plated tail spring. It did come with a Wurkkos battery. I got this, they're only selling this on Amazon right now. They don't even sell it on their site online. Alright. Both sides are anodized. We have nice O-rings, nice thick threads, gold-plated spring. Just a really cool little light. I mean, a lot of people, what I've seen, people that do have it, is they're not a big fan of the UI, and I can understand that. But with the way that I have this set up, I don't mind. So like my Ace Beam lights, they don't even have like a really good tactical UI, believe it or not. So this one, I can put it into a tactical UI. Whoop. There we go. So I can switch back between strobe, high, strobe, high. Granted, if somebody's coming at me, I'm going to hit them with turbo and then smash them in the face with this. Alright, so the TIR lens is protected by a piece of glass, AR glass. It has a 1 meter drop rating, so 3 feet, and it is rated IPX8, so you can submerge it in 2 meters of water for up to 30 minutes. And that's the maximum water resistance rating besides like specialty diving lights with 2 O-rings. Alright. I went over the indicator light. Alright, let's go take this out. Let's go compare it to some other lights, and then we'll be back and wrap this up. Alright guys, I'm out here with the Wurkkos TD02. This is eco mode. And you have low, medium, high, turbo. And I mean, it throws all right, but this is definitely a light for closer up. Has a really big hot spot for a TIR. All right, and to do strobe, you double click. And one click to exit. All right, so now I have the TD02, and then this is the FC12 on the left. So you can see how the FC12 throws further, and the TD02 lights up a little bit closer. It's more of a floodlight, whereas the FC12 is a little bit more of a thrower. It's a much more defined hot spot. All right, and next I have the WK03, and this has an sft40 in it. So I was gonna switch this thing back to an SST40 just for comparison, but I thought it might be interesting to show you what the TD01 or TD02 would look like with an sft40. Granted, it would look better with a reflector than a TIR, but it's still a decent beam. All right, so you can see it's more intense on the left, and it throws much further. Well, not much further, but it throws further. So here is the WK03 with sft40. And here is the TD02. So sft40 has a much more defined hotspot. The SST40 is much more floody as it is domed. The sft40 does not have a dome on it. And it's one of the best LEDs for throwing, in my opinion. But they both look relatively good. I would, like I've said several times, I would prefer the sft40. All right, so now I'm going to show you the different modes. Right here, this is Eco. Low. Medium. High. Turbo. I mean, this is a great EDC in my opinion. I really like it. Granted, yeah, there's things I would change, but Wurkkos is trying to build a light for everyone, not just for me. Double click for strobe or turn off. Back to Eco, low, medium, high, turbo. All right, so let me know in the comments which light was your favorite. The WK03 with the sft40, the TD02 with an SST40, or the FC12 with a deeper reflector and an sft40. All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for sticking with me this far. Hey, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do a lot of flashlight reviews and I'm very responsive. And if you have a question and if you leave a comment, make sure my name is highlighted, because If it's not highlighted, I don't get a notification about it, and I might overlook it, you know. So make sure if you do that, just make sure my name is highlighted and then leave me a response. And I usually get back to people within at least 12 hours. All right, so this is a really cool new light by Wurkkos. And I just really love the direction they're heading in. And I appreciate all the ingenuity and innovation that they're putting into their lights. Like, this is a lot of hard work to be coming out with all these new lights continually. They just came out with the TS30S Pro, and now these other tactical lights with different interfaces and different designs. That takes a lot of work. So I know those guys are putting in long hours so that we can have good lighting instruments, and I appreciate them. All right, so if you're new, please subscribe. All the rest of you, you guys stay bright. Thanks for stopping by, and stay classy. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.